Next race in the Star Charity Challenge is Danelaw against Jemcast. Two British fighters going to race each other in this fantastic match race, and it was going to be a race that none of them will forget for a long time. Let's see, here is the start. We can see the two skippers know something about sailing, they know something about match race, they're following each other, and we are watching it from Danelaw's view, so it's Jemcast in the opposite boat. 25 seconds to start. Until now it looks like that Jemcast is going away from Danelaw. Is this a trick to come back and penalty him? No, it just managed not to penalize him just before the start. 10 seconds to start. A penalty at this moment will be crucial. And no penalty given out there. Yeah, there was a penalty to Jemcast. Not the best start. 3 seconds to start. This is a good start for Danelaw. Jemcast coming in with a start of a penalty. But let's see the difference in between them. It's only 1 meter. So Jemcast is back in the race. They're following each other upwind to the first top mark. The format is racing for a gate mark in the top, gate mark in the bottom, racing upwind to the gate mark and downwind to the finish line. See how close they're getting to each other. Jemcast pressuring Danelaw to make a huge maneuvering and throwing dirty air back on him, winning 5 meters on that maneuvering. 6 meters, 7 meters, he's getting speed, he's getting more and more in the lead when they're coming towards the first gate mark. 10 meters, Danelaw losing a lot of momentum here. Way to go by Jemcast. 11 meters, if it's going more than 18 meters, it's all over for Danelaw, but let's see how it will go. They're coming around the mark. Jemcast coming around there, a small turn. And Danelaw, and now it's all about counting the meters. 16, 17. No, it's a good turn. We have to remember that the starboat has a wind shadow that's 33 meters big. So downwind now. Jemcast is under attack by Danelaw. He needs to defend himself, get out of that wind shadow, or he will lose momentum. And you can see Danelaw is coming closer and closer to Jemcast. It will be a dangerous close race here. They're coming towards the first gate mark downwind, and then they're getting ready to race upwind. 6 meters, it looks like Danelaw can do a small attack, but he has to take care that he's not getting a penalty himself, because then everything could be over already. Following each other to the right hand side of the course, and there we can see they're splitting up a little bit. So right now Danelaw is placed on the left hand side of Jemcast. This means Jemcast can't throw a wind shadow on him, so they will follow each other upwind. And they are just making a small psychological war where they're following each other and racing into each other, see if one of them will do a penalty or a small mistake that can do that they will have a penalty. It's a good race. This is a close race. It looks like Jemcast and Danelaw are going to fight it. They're going to battling downwind. So now it's all about thinking the tactics and strategy to do when they're rounding this top gate mark for the second time. And there we go, Jemcast first. And let's see the meters. Danelaw coming in. It's only 17 meters, 15 meters. There's a long distance to the finish line. Now the battle is up. Danelaw is getting up with the source. Jemcast needs to pick up the shield. Let's see, they're going to the left hand side. That's a very known strategy, to go a little bit away from wind shadow and get the left hand side. And see there, Danelaw following him, getting closer and closer to Jemcast. 10 meters. It looks like he will take over. Let's see what will happen. Jemcast will keep the left hand side. He doesn't want Danelaw to go to the left hand side. And now let's see if Danelaw can do a trick. He has to do a trick, go to the right hand side. Let's see, they're so damn close on each other. No, oh, Danelaw just hits Jemcast behind. This means that Jemcast can race for it. He can race for it and take the win in the first race. A penalty downwind for the finish line. Cost 9 meters, and this means Danelaw loses this race. 1-0 for Jemcast. We're getting ready for second race. Let's see how it go. Again, we are in Danelaw's view, so we can see Danelaw's boat here racing around, not following Jemcast that much, trying to get away from him and avoid a penalty, find a good position. It's 30 seconds to start. See, there is Jemcast. They're getting ready for Jemcast attacking Danelaw. This is all about psychic, the other player, and there, Danelaw getting a penalty, but doesn't mean anything. He's close to the starting line, and also it's only 11 seconds slowdown, so it doesn't mean anything for his race. Let's see here, the start is coming up, 10 seconds for start. It's Jemcast versus Danelaw. We are watching it from Danelaw's point of view, and there we go. They will follow each other. A good start, a clean start for both of them, but what will their strategy and tactics be upwind? See, Jemcast, he wants to be in front of Danelaw all the time. See, he tacks in front of him as soon as Danelaw trying to get away, and that means that he's throwing dirty air down on Danelaw, and Danelaw doesn't have a chance to speed up and come in front of Jemcast. Following each other upwind to the gate mark and getting ready to race downwind, and when they are so close to each other, it's all about being in attacking and defending position, and it looks like Jemcast, he will be in the defending position again with Danelaw coming from behind and attack him. There, oh, it looks like Danelaw got a hold. He's sneaking away from Jemcast. He's not able to throw dirty air back on Danelaw, so this is maybe the good news. No, he's going behind him. And there, Jemcast coming in, but Danelaw's just outside of the wind shadow. This means he will not lose momentum up towards the gate mark. It's a good fight for the two skippers, but let's see how they will do. It is Jemcast, it is Danelaw. They're coming dangerous close to each other, and they're getting ready to round the mark. Now it's all about things, strategy and tactics, how to defend and how to attack. Let's see if Danelaw will be a little bit more lucky in his attack downwind this time than at the end of the first race. Now, what's happening here? The boats are splitting up. Danelaw going to the left-hand side, Jemcast going to the right-hand side, and see that maneuvering costing 20 meters. But still, he's able to capture Jemcast in a wind shadow. We have to remember the wind shadow of the start boat is 33 meters. Coming around the bottom mark, we can see Danelaw lost a lot of momentum downwind, and because of that turn off the top mark. But now he's only 8 meters behind again. He has a chance to race a little bit away from Jemcast. We can see Danelaw coming in here. Jemcast cannot throw dirty on him, but when they're going to tack upwards towards the top mark, Jemcast will be able to throw a lot of dirty air when they're coming to their port side tack. There we go. And see, there is the wind shadow. Danelaw captured, and he just managed to go outside of it and not losing more momentum. But this time he will follow Jemcast, not do the same mistake to go to the opposite mark. Let's see, 20 meters. This race is not over yet. Jemcast captured in wind shadow by Danelaw. Danelaw is behind him. We're going to see an attack against sea. They're getting closer and closer to each other. Now, what's happening there? Oh, we just saw something with battery. They're 13 meters, 12 meters. He's getting closer and closer. Can he manage to get in and do an attack before they are arriving to the finish line? The finish line is getting closer and closer and closer. It's Jemcast, it's Danelaw. Come on, Danelaw, let's see what you can do. There we can see, but it's nice defend by Jemcast. He just managed to keep himself out of trouble, but there he's caught. 8, 7, 6. No, let's see what's going on. 5 meters, 3. Jemcast just managed to defend himself against Danelaw. So 2-0 for Jemcast against Danelaw. Race number 3 coming up. Race number 3 is going to be one of those close ones again. We can see how they're following each other. This time Jemcast is really attacking, pressuring Danelaw. He wants to finish this race in the start. Can he make a penalty there? Then he will win it. But it looks like Jemcast just got a penalty by Danelaw. not smiling, not happy about that, but there's still a long time for the start. This means that Jemcast might have a slow start. No, there's after the penalty doing a 360, going away from Danelaw. 17 seconds to start. We can see there's around 8 seconds up towards the starting line. So now they're finding their position. Danelaw sneaking away from Jemcast. Jemcast coming from behind. It looks like Danelaw is getting a very good start. There we go. Danelaw, he is 2 meters, 3 meters ahead, starting in front of Jemcast. This means the roles has been shifted in this race upwind. Normally we see Jemcast in the 2 other races be in front of Danelaw, but this time it's Danelaw's time to control Jemcast. But he's actually put in a very bad position. He is in the left-hand side of Jemcast. This means when he's going to tack up, Jemcast can continue his starboard tack and attack Danelaw. Let's see, that is coming in. This might be a costly one. And as said, there we saw it. An attack by Jemcast into Danelaw. So 11 seconds slowdown. We can see here he's losing momentum, but luckily for him it's an upwind race. This means only minus 12 meters. And Danelaw is a little bit unhappy about that. Jemcast is smiling. So way to go by Jemcast. 14 meters. Danelaw needs to keep away from it. If it's more than 18 meters behind, he might already lose this race. 19, 20, 21, 22. It's counting up. Let's see. He's coming around that mark. He only have a wind shear of 33 meters. And Jemcast is on 37. This means Jemcast can race for it. He's just outside of the wind shadow. See also, he's coming first to the bottom mark. Danelaw trying to get closer and closer, race the best he can, use the wind intelligence to get speed into the sails. He's 17 meters behind, and Jemcast just needs to control it, throw dirty air behind himself on Danelaw's sails. If he can keep Danelaw 18 meters behind him, 19 is the best, then he can race for a win. But let's see here, Danelaw taking a chance, going to the right hand side, going into a starboard tack. They're coming towards the top mark. Still Jemcast in the lead. Now it's all about counting meters. Danelaw coming around. Has he done something special upwind? 33 meters, 36, 32. He's just outside of the wind shadow. This means Jemcast can go for the win. What's happening there? Jemcast, he was caught a little bit, but the finish line is getting closer and closer. A win for Jemcast in the 3rd race. This means the British boat Jemcast is winning 3-0 over Danelaw, the organizer of this charity challenge.